I'm Tanisha Arena, and you're listening to Unapologetic. I don't care if Kamala Harris is married to a white dude. She ain't married to Donald Trump. I don't care if her mother is an Indian woman. I don't care. Because right now, we are up against, it's either Donald Trump and Mike Pence or Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I'm willing to take my chances with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because if I stay with Donald Trump and Mike Pence, I'll probably wind up dead. We need to tell the truth about these things because this is where we are. There are 130,000 people, Americans, United States citizens or not, but people who live in these United States who have died because of COVID-19. And we have an occupant in the White House who's like, oh, well, it is what it is. So if he can have that attitude about people dying, people that look like me and you dying, it is what it is, then maybe that's the attitude that we need to have about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris at this point. It is what it is because these are the choices that we have. There are no other choices. And if we don't do this, what's going to happen? We're at the crossroads of our nation falling apart. Like, yes, this is where we are. Our president has warrants. He's got multiple baby mamas. We can't leave the country. Like, I think our country probably even has bad credit. Like, we're just really not in a good space. And this is our choice right here. This is our opportunity to do something that really needs to be done. I'm not asking you to marry either one of these candidates. It's not for life. But we've got to get out of this dysfunctional situation that we have going on with 46 minus 1. We cannot do this for another 4 years. We cannot. I can't. You can't. I don't even have the luxury of sitting this out, right? This is for us to do, and we have to collectively do it. I need you to do your census. I need you to register to vote, and I need you to vote. I need you to vote like your life depends on it because it does. Now is not the time to split hairs and say, oh, she ain't black enough. Oh, she was a prosecutor. Oh, all of these things, which they are true. Yep, she was a prosecutor. Yep, she did that. But the person in the White House, well, he said, I could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue and I'll still get elected. And he did. He talked about grabbing women by his lady parts and he got elected. He has mocked veterans. He has mocked our elder statespeople. He's not welcome in spaces. So Kamala Harris was a prosecutor. She will be invited to places, right? Yes, she has a multiracial background, like that I think is really important. Like this will change the conversations that we're having about leadership. And I also want to point out, like, yeah, for all intents and purposes, this is a black woman and who's the most disrespected woman in America, who's the most uncared for woman in America, the black woman. So we need to rally around this woman because we know the onslaught that's coming for her. He already then called her out her name and tried to drag her through the dirt. We can't let that happen, right? Because she's stepping into that place and willing to take on this load. And like, here's black women trying to save the day. Ain't that kind of what we do in America? So we need to show up and show out. And if this is not the ideal choice for you, cool. It's not the forever choice. So that means that once they're elected, because that's what we need to have happen, on November 4th, if you're really disenfranchised with this two-party system that we have and you want to talk about a third, on November 4th, hit the ground running. Identify these candidates who will be what it is for this new party on November 4th. After we've taken care of this issue right here that's really pressing, that we need to show up on November 3rd and make sure that without a doubt, Donald Trump's not the president no more. He can't say, oh, well, it was voter fraud because the mail and everything else. And we need to focus on those things too, because this is part of a playbook. I'm going to appoint one of my friends to be the postmaster general, and I'm going to start dismantling the postal system because we're in the middle of a pandemic and people aren't going to go and physically vote. They're going to use ballots, but those ballots have to travel through the mail. Follow the path through the mail. But my buddy is the postmaster general, and they're cutting back their hours and they're turning off the sorting machines and everything else because you're going to send mail-in ballots. And oh, by the way, they need 2 stamps and it might take 2 weeks for that ballot to get there. We don't want ballots sitting in a warehouse somewhere that are uncounted. And I'm not asking people to risk their health and safety to go physically vote in the middle of a pandemic, but our lives literally are at stake. So we've got to be diligent and prepared for all of the scandals that are going to come up and all of the ways that our vote is trying to be suppressed. If you're sitting out there thinking, nothing's going to change, my vote doesn't matter, it does. It matters so much that they are closing polling places. They're trying to make sure you have an ID to vote. They're trying to make it so that if you were a felon and trying to get your civil rights restored so that you can vote, they're going to tax you on that, which is illegal, by the way. Your vote matters. This is a numbers game. It's always been a numbers game. So I need you to show up. Now is not the time to split hairs about Kamala Harris and is she black enough and who she's married to and her stepkids and everything else, because I know that when Kamala Harris is in office, I'm not going to have to worry about collusion with Russia. I'm not going to have to worry about being embarrassed on a national stage. I'm not going to have to worry about the dismantling of a pandemic team. We need to get 45 out, because it also means that we don't have somebody like Ben Carson as the Secretary of HUD while we're in the middle of this pandemic and there's a moratorium on evictions and foreclosures that's going to go away. And when it goes away, who's going to be in charge of those kind of things? We need to get rid of this administration because we need to get rid of Betsy DeVos, who's the Secretary of Education, who gave a press conference in front of a bookcase with no books. We need to pay attention to all of those things. Am I going to cast my vote for Biden and Harris? You damn right, because I don't have a choice. Because I want to live, because I want to have the opportunity for liberation and freedom. And this is just a step. It's not for forever. But my other choice is one that's damn sure going to kill me, because look at where we are. Look at where we are.